Have you ever loaned anybody in your family $2,000?
No.
If you did, would you expect them to pay you back?
It depends on the situation. I probably wouldn't because it's family.
Really? Mm-hmm. Really?
Yeah.
This is the plaintiff, Henry Wyzerza. He says the defendant is his long-lost cousin who he loaned money to. And when he asked her to start paying it back, she said she didn't have to because they were family. What? He never agreed to just give her the money. She has some nerve stiffing him because he saw her on Facebook hooting and hollering it up on vacation in New York and New Orleans. And he wants his $2,200 loan returned. So he's suing. This is the defendant, Chris. She says her cousin offered to help her out financially and never expected him to ask for the money back because he made it seem like the money was a gift. She couldn't believe it, and when she received the papers from court saying he was suing her, she was beside herself. Oh, and for a gift he gave her? No way. She's accused of copping out on a cousin.
All parties, please hit 13.
What you are about to witness is real. The participants are not actors. They are actual litigants with a case pending in civil court. Both parties have agreed to drop their claims and have their cases settled here before Judge Marilyn Millian in our forum, the People's Court.
You see, to come to order, please. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas. Henry Wyzerza, you are suing Chris, your cousin. You've asked us not to mention your last name for $2,200, $2,100 a loan you made her, $50 which you're estimating for interest, and $50 for withdrawal fee.
Yes.
What happened?
This year, earlier in the beginning of the year, in April, she called me and said, "Hey, cuz, I need."
She's your cousin?
She's my cousin.
Okay.
I need some money. I'm getting evicted. And I said, well, how much do you need? She's like, well, how much can you give me? I said, I don't know. How much do you need? And she's like, maybe $5,000. I said, well, I got to think about it. I don't like loaning money to people, especially family. So I thought about it overnight, and I said, I'm going to help her out. And it happened to be a good week for me at work. So I decided I would give her.
What do you do for a living?
I'm an auto mechanic for the post office.
Okay.
And they had us in overtime at that time, and I was making okay money, so.
Was she working?
I assumed she was working. I think she was working.
You don't know?
I'm not positive.
Okay, go on.
So I called her the next day.
And were you two close?
No, not very close. I had just moved to Florida about 8 months prior, and we kind of just hooked back up as family.
Right.
We kind of grew up together about 30 years prior to that
Right.
in Michigan, but had not
Okay.
seen her in a long time.
Okay. So what happens? You think about it overnight.
I thought about it, and I said, yeah, I'm going to help you out. She, at the time that she asked me, she said, I'm getting my tax return back in a few weeks. I get about $10,000 back a year, so it's only going to be a temporary loan, a few weeks. And I'm like, okay, I'll help my cousin out. So I had that Friday.
How much do you normally get back every year?
About 8,000 to 10,000.
Okay. What a coincidence that he knows that. Go ahead.
So I said, okay, that Friday I'm getting paid. I can give you some cash then, and I can take a quick loan out from my retirement account, which I did.
And that's where the $50 fee came in?
It's a $50 fee.
Do you have proof of the $50 fee?
I do. So I went online.
So how much did you take out?
$2,100.
So the total that you gave her was $2,100?
Correct.
Is there any dispute about that the total he gave you was $2,100?
No, it was correct.
Okay, so then what happened?
So then I gave her the money, and I just waited.
Right.
Week or two went by. The end of April went by. The end of tax time went by. Now it's May. Hey, cuz, what's going on? I haven't heard from you. No return. Hey, cuz, what's going on? I'm leaving messages. I'm leaving texts. No return. And then eventually she started texting me back saying, well, what do you mean? I thought that was a gift, your family. I'm like, no, Chrissy, I'm family, but if I had that much money, I wouldn't have had to take a loan out.
Can I hear from you, Chris?
Well, I've been struggling, and my husband passed away about 6 years ago.
Sorry to hear that.
Thank you. And so I didn't ask for the money because I was struggling with my rent payment, and my daughter lives with me.
How old's your daughter?
She's 18 now.
And were you working?
I was working. I worked 2 jobs, but it still doesn't make my ends meet. So I had asked them if he could help me. And
Well, how much was your rent?
my rent is $1,100.
And you're in what town? Pinellas?
Yes, I'm in Pinellas.
Okay.
And he said he'll be able to help me, and I was appreciative with that. But I didn't think that I'd have to pay him back.
Why not?
Because we're family. I mean,
So
you do
what?
things for family.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. Is it a good idea or a bad idea to loan money to relatives?
I think it's a bad idea.
Because
Because if they don't pay you back, it can ruin the relationship.
what are you saying?
I'll pay her back.
Stop.
By saying that, I don't believe you.
Oh, I know. I don't believe me
Bad
either.
idea.
What are you saying?
Bad idea.
Why?
It could cause conflict.
But what if a relative of all people, if they need money, you kind of want to help them out, right?
Of course, you want to be as supportive as possible, and if they make it rich, they pay you back.
And then if they don't, you're a sucker.
No, not really.
Kind of really, going inside the courtroom.
Have you ever loaned anybody in your family $2,000?
No.
If you
A few
did, would
dollars,
you
but not
expect them
a
to pay you back?
It depends on the situation. I probably wouldn't because it's family.
Really? Mm-hmm. Really?
Yeah.
I can't help but notice you've never done it, though.
No, not that much money, maybe
No,
a few $100.
right. That's critical.
Yeah.
Because if it was $20, I could hear you. Oh, we're family. You're really suing me for the $20?
Right.
But it's $2,100.
No,
And
that's a
did you
lot.
know he had to take it out of his 401k?
He did mention it, yes.
So it's
Didn't
not
mention
like it's lying around. Not that it makes a difference, but it's not like it's lying around. The guy had to go through a bunch of hoops to get it to you.
No, I understand he
And
did.
how do you figure that you don't have to pay it? I'm fascinated by you.
Blood is
It's
thicker than
family.
water.
It's the family exception to the loan law. Why on earth would you not be required to pay back? Because it just sounds like you're just a freeloader, like you don't want to pay your bills. I don't know where you're spending your money, but because you're working 2 jobs, so you should be spending your money on paying your bills. If you are working 2 jobs, but it sounds like you just want to, do to him what you did to the landlord, where you were on the eviction process before you finally paid that bill. And no, cuz, that's not how it works. You made this guy actually take you to court to get back. So now you look terrible in front of the family. How many people are angry at her? Nobody, or are they angry at you? How's the family reacting?
Well, I've kept everything quiet because I didn't want to embarrass.
Oh, well, I don't know how to break it to you. You're on national television right now. So it's not going to be quiet for long. I am ruling in your favor in the amount of $2,100 plus prejudgment statutory interest in the state of Florida. And by the way, when you say, I didn't think I'd have to pay it back, why would I believe you when he happens to know the exact amount that you get back every year? If you hadn't in fact told him that, I'll pay you back when my taxes, how would he possess that knowledge?
I still had to pay other bills.
Did you hear what I said?
Yes.
What's your answer? You don't have one.
Right.
Just keep it shut.
Well-
All right, verdict for the plaintiff.
So the plaintiff is finally going to get his $2,100 back. You aren't surprised at the outcome, are you?
I'm not surprised, but still shocked. I mean, family's family, and we try doing things for family and helping each other out.
But you're shocked at what? That he sued you?
Yes.
Really?
Yes. I'm shocked.
Are you shocked at what the judge said to you? She was amazed.
She was. I think she was shocked too.
She was?
She was shocked. We both were shocked.
So what have you learned?
Don't borrow money
Well, that's great if you don't.
from anybody.
From anybody. Well, I feel sorry for you, but my goodness, I think everybody watching here is thinking, what's
I
going
think
on
so.
in your head?
I think so too.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, now it's a reality check.
Okay. Goodbye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay. I don't think he'll lend you any more money anytime soon. This is a real shame you had to do this.
Yeah, it's not a fun thing. I should have listened to the old advice. You don't loan money to friends and family.
I mean, you went overboard to get the money. Was it a tough decision for you to do it, to loan her money?
It was hard, yes.
Will you do this again?
Hopefully I won't ever have to. I've learned a lesson.
Well, good for you. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Okay. A lesson well learned, Harvey. What do you think?
I got to tell you, if it's a loan and it's a family member, send them an email. It's especially important to make it clear with family. And that will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.
This is the plaintiff, Uday Ezenuka. He says he's known the defendant since they both entered this great country from Nigeria. And it hurts him to have to sue the defendant, but money is money. And what's right is right. He bought a car from the man. The title was all messed up on the thing. It didn't run properly, and he comes to find out it needs a new transmission. He wants his $4,333.02 back. The defendant refuses. So here they are. This is the defendant, Saeed Hafiz. He says the plaintiff doesn't understand that all you need in America is a title and you can register the car. He's being very problematic. He parked it on the street for a month without gas in the tank. Dust got in there. That's why it wasn't running. He fixed it for the plaintiff for free. Certainly isn't giving him a full refund, and he's sorry, but the plaintiff's in the wrong here. He's accused of unloading a hoopty. The defendant has filed a countersuit for $210 for a tow and repair.
All parties, please use your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case in the docket. The plaintiff feels betrayed because his fellow Nigerian, a guy who emigrated to America with him, conned him over a car sale. But the defendant says the complaints that the car doesn't run are BS because the plaintiff caused it. It's the case of my countryman stabbed me in the back.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome, ma'am.
Mr. Uday, you are suing Saeed Hafiz
Yes.
for $4,333 that you say he owes you due to a car sale that, according to you, went very, very wrong. Tell me what happened.
Thank you, Your Honor. On the 4th of June, I called Saidi. He's a
How
friend.
did you two know each other?
He's a Nigerian. We've met before. We meet regularly.
Are you also Nigerian?
I'm Nigerian.
Okay. All right.
So we often meet once in a while. We say hi to each other.
Okay.
So on the 4th of June, I called him. I told him that I would like to buy a car.
And did you know him to be somebody who sells cars?
I know he's into a lot of things.
Okay. So you call him and you say, I need to buy a car.
Yeah,
And
that I was going to buy a car, and then I told him I needed to buy a car because I don't have a dealership license and all these things. So he said he was going to help me out. And
because you don't have a what?
Dealership license to buy cars from certain sites.
Oh, because you wanted to buy one at an auction. And do you have a dealership license?
No.
Do you buy cars at auction?
Yeah, I do.
How do you do it if you don't have a dealership license?
There are a couple of individual auctions where individuals can just go register.
How many cars do you sell a year?
I don't sell cars.
Okay.
You
So
know,
you go to auctions just to browse?
Yeah, sure.
Right. Yeah.
Yes.
How many cars have you bought at auction in the last year?
Maybe 4 or 5.
All right. And have you sold them?
No, I don't sell.
What do you do with them?
I keep them for myself.
Will you go on with your story? So he helps you to buy a car, correct?
No, he didn't help me finally because he said he had a car that he was
had
going
a
to sell.
car.
Yeah.
And did he take you right to the car at that moment?
Yeah, he took me to the car.
Okay. And the car was what?
A Nissan Murano 2005.
2005?
Yes.
Nissan Murano?
Yeah.
All right. So you agree on a price of what?
3,500.
3,500?
Yes.
Okay. So how did you get that car?
Well, that car came from a dealer in Pennsylvania. So he sold the car through the auction. I got the car, I paid the tolls and everything. I drove the car was excellent. Clean title, paperwork, DVDs.
Okay. Hand me the paperwork from the car. Do you have paperwork from the sale?
Yes.
Did you have title for this?
Yeah, it's clean title.
A what title?
Clean title, it was okay title.
Clean title. Who is Deji Mustafa?
So that's the owner of the Copart account. That
Of the
I
what?
use. The owner of the Copart account I use.
Okay, except for that I have paperwork from Copart that has 2 names on it. Deji Mustafa and his name.
Yeah, so what the other paper I don't have here because I picked up the wrong folder. So there's a title, that same paperwork is supposed to say Deji Mustafa only.
Yeah, but it doesn't.
Yeah.
So how does it happen to say his name?
No, that's the one he has for registration. So that's the paperwork he needs to go get it registered.
Did you register this car?
That's where the story began, because when I paid for the car, I signed a title that looked like this, which had Deji's name on it. So I asked him, I was like, there's a name here already. So what's going to be the implication if I put my name here as a co-buyer? He said he was going to go
and get me my own title with my own name so I can go and get my own registration and title. So as soon as I put my name there and signed it, he left, he came back with that same title I signed and that bill of sale.
Can I ask you a question? Did you register the car? Was that what I asked originally?
I did.
Yeah, did you register the car?
I finally got to
Why
register.
finally? What happened the first time?
Because there was my name and Deji's name.
And Deji's name.
Yeah,
so
so
where
I
did you
couldn't-
go to register the car?
I have a driver's license from New Hampshire because that was where I was.
So you
before.
drove from...
No, I didn't drive.
From New York to New Hampshire?
I took a bus.
You took a bus to New Hampshire?
Yeah.
And
Because I
registered the
couldn't-
car in New Hampshire so the insurance would be cheaper?
No. I have a
Because your license is from there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so you go to New Hampshire, and are you able to register the car the first time?
The first time, no.
Why?
Because Deji's name was there, and then if I register it, I would have to register in my name and Deji's name.
Okay. So instead, what do? You come back, and you tell him, I can't register it.
I called him.
And what does he tell you to do?
He told me to tell them that Deji, he gave me Deji's ID card, and he said I should tell them that Deji is outside, and he can't come inside.
Did you tell him to do that?
No.
I have a text for that.
Did that work? Did you go back to...
I didn't do that, but what I did was I told him, because I told him that I can't do that, because if anything goes wrong, I'll...
And so what'd you do?
I told him that Deji can't come, but he has given me his driver's license, but he's indisposed.
Wait, did you register the car then?
The second time you had it.
So the first time they wouldn't let you do it because Deji didn't sign it, and the second time you said, Deji's outside, I didn't feel like coming in. Yeah, no problem. Really?
I had to do that because he said, because when I said to him, this
Did
car...
did somebody sign for Deji? Is that what happened? Somebody here signed for Deji and pretended to be Deji?
I signed for Deji.
Yeah, you signed for Deji. So you falsified the title. All right, so now it's titled in your name only, right? Like it should be.
In our
Everybody agrees it should be titled in your name only.
It's in our name still.
In whose name?
My name and Deji's name.
Deji owns a car still?
Yes. This is the title here. He said if I get this, then he can refund my money to me.
Who's Mustafa Deji? Deji Mustafa. Who is that? That's the person whose license you were illegally using, or person who actually had a right to be at that auction. So you went in as him?
No. It's Copart. Anybody can use it. Anybody can use it.
I don't know what you're talking about. This is unusual. Who is Deji Mustafa?
Deji Mustafa is the owner, is the first owner of the car. So it's two things
So
that
he's
happen.
not, when you say he's the original owner of the car, he only owned the car because you're using his thing to get in here. How does he get this guy's name off his title?
This is the situation. Deji Mustafa is the owner of the account.
Why is the guy whose account you used to go to Copart and buy stuff, why is his name on this man's title?
Because he's a co-buyer. All he had
No.
to do...
Nobody cares who buys from Copart. What he wants is a clean title, one where he's the only guy who's the owner, okay? Why is there another guy's name still as the owner?
The reason why is because he was a co-owner.
Why can't you provide clean title that gets Deji Mustafa's name off it?
I don't make titles. DMV make titles.
Oh, no. Here's what you do. You don't seem to understand. See, when you sell a car, you have to be able to give a person clean title. Do you know Deji Mustafa?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then why wouldn't you get Deji Mustafa's signature on it so that he wouldn't end up being an owner with Deji on a title?
He just got... This is my first time seeing that title. I haven't seen the title.
Well, what was the title you gave him? What did it say?
Deji Mustafa only.
Was it signed by Deji Mustafa?
Yeah.
No, that's not true. Because
he knows Deji Mustafa.
If he just went with
him.
a title signed by Deji Mustafa, they would have just registered it. What was? Show me the text he sent you. You are slick. By the way, what happened with the car? It turned out to be garbage?
The car also had a bad transmission.
So now you have to buy a new engine and a transmission? Or just transmission?
Transmission, yes.
And that's how much?
It should be in the range of 4,000, according to what Nissan said.
Who's Fizzy Felamon?
That's Afiz, that's his name.
You can hold my money for all I care, but I will not be your errand boy. And this deal will be deemed fraudulent if you don't produce the real seller by the end of this week. And he answers, yes, Judge. You say, good night, bro. You ask him when you're trying to get it registered, who is the seller of the car you sold to me, please. He doesn't answer. Then you say, please, I paid the sum of $3,500 for the direct purchase of the car and not as a co-purchaser. There's so many irregularities, kindly address them. And then he doesn't answer. And then you say, please, I would need the name and address of who you said is the seller of the car. You've asked me to implicate myself by giving false information to DMV, which I refuse. However, the car which you took payment for is stuck with me unusable. I am kindly seeking your cooperation to resolve this. He answers, bro, nothing is wrong. It's a process. All we need is follow the steps over there or after we get title or we go to New York and we finish it. No excuse for ignorance. No implication. You just being stubborn on yourself for no reason. To which you answer, I might have been ignorant, but I won't remain silent. If you say there's a procedure, one thing is sure. Your title shows me as a co-purchaser, which isn't what it should be, and that is the major obstacle here. So what'd you end up doing? They gave you paperwork to show that that this Deji sold it to you, and then you ended up signing Deji's name?
The second time, yes.
You could legitimately do it rather than forging the guy's signature, right?
I didn't forge, I just wrote his name there.
Okay, that's called forgery. That's called forgery.
No, but...
No, stop. You need to understand that that is a forgery. You're not allowed to pretend you're Deji and sign an official document that goes to the government. That's a problem for me. Where's the car right now?
It's right here.
How did he get the car?
I mean, the car has...
How did he get the car?
I drove it to him, and I gave the keys to his sister.
Is the car with your sister?
No.
Where is it?
He abandoned the car on another street.
Where did he abandon it?
On another street.
Okay. Did he give the keys to your sister?
He gave the keys to my sister.
And then what happened with the car since then?
I never touched it.
It's still on the street?
Yeah.
He was supposed to.
Wait, everybody stop. So the car is still on the street?
Yeah.
Did it get towed?
Sanitation already marked it for tow.
Sanitation already what?
Marked it up for tow.
Marked it to be towed, and has it been towed? When was the last time you saw it?
I think 2 days ago. I didn't check it.
Court's in recess.
All rise.
So if the seller can't convey the legal title, is the buyer allowed to automatically undo the sale, get his money back?
I believe so. But this is America, so it doesn't happen, especially in LA.
You don't think it happens in LA or New York? Seriously?
No, I think it's a ridiculous idea that someone who buy a car from someone who they're not going to get a title, that's a stupid idea.
It is a stupid idea, but I guess the question, can you undo the deal going inside the courtroom?
I want to understand the amounts in your lawsuit. You're suing for the $3,500, which I know is what you paid.
Yep.
Then you're suing for a fuel filter, brakes, and fluids for the car. How long were you driving the car?
1 day.
What day did you buy the car?
12th of June.
12th of June.
Yeah.
What day did you pay for brakes, fluids, etc.? Show me the receipts. You've got a counterclaim against him for $210 more. Tell me about that.
The car was supposed to be sold at $3,600.
Yeah, but you didn't sell it at $3,600.
He bought it at $3,600.
He bought it at $3,500.
$3,600. He's owing me $100.
Why did you give it to him if he hadn't paid for it?
He's not a stranger.
Why would there be exactly only $100 oddly missing?
That is one of his tricks. He paid me 4 times for this same car. I didn't understand that it was up to a scam that he wants to...
He's scamming?
Yeah, that's what he does.
Okay, first of all, you're using someone else's account, which you don't have a right to do. You're pretending to be, you're going to this auction and using someone else's account. Why do you think that you have to register and have an account? So it can be a regulated business. And yet you're going over there and using someone else's account in order to buy a car, and then that someone's name is on the title. You know what's odd? During the recess, what I did was contact the state of New Hampshire, the Department of Highway Safety and Motor Vehicles, to try to understand how it is that something very odd is on this title. It's you or Deji Mustafa. Not and, but or. So I asked them, what does that mean? And their answer was, well, one or the other could transfer the car. Yeah, look at that. Look at that.
That's what I do.
Yeah, that's all you got to do after you forge. Yeah, there's only one problem with it.
The owner signed that title.
Hey!
The owner signed that title.
What part of don't talk do you not understand?
All right.
There's only one problem with that. You could take this right now, and you can sign it over to yourself and not Deji. But the only reason you can do that is because you forged Deji's signature to begin with. And I don't allow a fraud to continue to perpetrate itself. Now, typically, when someone does a fraud like you did, I would turn around and say, you got a lot of nerve asking the court to help you because you have what we call in the law unclean hands. And when you have unclean hands, when you do something wrong, you can't come to the court and say, oh, help me, I've been wronged. When you turned around and forged the signature, I didn't forge, I just wrote it. But the only hands more unclean than yours here are his. Because he's the one going to an auction he doesn't have a right to go to, buying a car he doesn't have a right to buy, and then telling you to be his errand boy, just like you said in the text. To go do this, do that, get this other paperwork. All you got to do now is make a fraud, and then everybody's going to be happy. No. So guess what? This isn't his car. This is your car that probably has been towed by sanitation. And I am ordering you to return every penny that he put into it. $4,333, because the first wrong that happened here is that you didn't convey clean title. That is my verdict.
Well, the plaintiff is going to get his money back, $4,333. What are you thinking right now?
Nothing. The judge doesn't know everything, so that's good.
Well, she said you didn't have a right to sell the car, but it didn't have a clean title.
It was
It's your problem.
No, it's not my problem.
Yeah.
It's not my problem.
You know, this didn't make you look very good at all. You didn't have the right to buy the car.
No, that was the judge. I have a right to buy the car. I have a right to
There
buy
is a problem there, though.
No, there isn't.
Yeah, there is.
No. Thank you very much.
We disagree. All right. Udaya, step out of here. You're going to get your money back now.
Yeah.
You feel good? Feel all right?
To me, I feel this case has lingered for a while, but in my mind, justice delayed. This shows that justice delayed is not justice denied, and I'm happy about the verdict.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Okay. Congratulations. Thank you very much. How about that, Harvey?
I mean, look, the plaintiff is dirty here by forging the title, but the reality is that if you can't convey title, you get your money back. That will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.
This is the plaintiff, Stephen Marchak. He says he hired the defendant to transport his 2,000-pound mechanic's toolbox. And when he delivered it, he literally dropped it off the truck. The whole case is banged up and mangled. The lock is broken, and the wheels are bent, and it won't roll. He has tools worth $20,000 in there. He can't lock the box. And the defendant owes him the $3,000 it's now going to cost him to get a new one. This is the defendant, Curvin. He says the cart and toolbox were all of about 20 pounds. He picked them up and dropped them off, and that was that. 2 days later, the plaintiff calls him complaining the toolbox was damaged. He doesn't know what happened in those 2 days at the new shop. What he does know is he didn't dent, bend, or crack anything, and doesn't owe this clown $3,000. He's accused of being a tool.
All parties, please raise your right hand.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket. The plaintiff hired the defendant to take his 2-ton toolbox to a different location. The guy mangled it, but the defendant says the damage happened on the plaintiff's watch. It's the case of you are such a tool.
Mr. Marchak, you are suing the tow truck company represented here by its owner, Mr. Curvin?
Yes.
Okay. For $3,000, the estimated value and the statutory max in your state of the 2 items that you paid him to transport, which you say he dropped and ruined.
Yes.
All right, what happened here?
I had the defendant come to my job, my old job, and pick up my toolbox.
When you say toolbox, what do you mean?
Yes, sir. Auto mechanic toolbox, bottom, top, side cabinet, and a rolling cabinet.
Okay.
Which is
and why
about
couldn't you carry it yourself?
No.
Why couldn't you?
Because it's too heavy.
How much does it weigh?
I would say close to 2,000 pounds.
Okay. So it's how big with your hands is this unit?
It's about 3 feet wide.
Uh-huh. And how tall?
5 foot tall.
Okay. All right. And it was full of tools?
Yes.
All right. So you hire a tow truck company to move it.
To transport it.
Right.
My tools.
And so how does that work out? He comes.
Right.
And he has a flatbed.
Right.
Okay. And what do?
I wheel the tools outside to the back of the flatbed.
The toolbox.
The toolbox.
Right.
And he's supposed to pick them up, pull them up.
How is he going to pick it up and put it on?
Well, roll it up. He has a cable that he hooks to the toolbox and he pulls it up onto the flatbed.
All right. So there'll be a ramp?
Right, he has a ramp. It's
Okay,
it's a
and so
flatbed.
what happens?
First thing happened, I saw that the ramp that he had like about a 3-inch lip on it.
Why would he have a lip on the ramp? The whole point of a ramp is to make it smooth, so
Right.
where does the lip
That I
come
don't
in?
know why.
All right, so you
'Cause
see he has
obviously-
a lip, and what happens?
He grabs the chain, he wraps it around one wheel, and he's trying to pull
What
it.
do you mean he wraps it around one wheel?
The bottom section of the tool chest has 4 wheels on the bottom of it. He takes the cable with the hook and he wraps it around the wheel instead of putting like a strap around the whole box and pulling it up that way.
He's just pulling by one wheel?
Yeah, he's pulling it by one wheel.
Why are you letting him do that if you're standing there? Did you say anything or no?
Yeah, I said, like, what are you doing here? You know what I mean? Everything is bending here and stuff like
And what
that.
did
He
he
goes,
say
oh,
to
don't
you?
worry about it. Don't worry about it, he says.
And what, well...
I said
and
you have
you
to lift
sa-
it up. Sorry.
Said what?
I said you have to lift it up because I said
He wanted me to
you
lift
have-
it up.
So
I said-
you lifted it up with him?
I
He didn't
tried
lift it
to.
I
Okay.
told him,
tried
just
to.
press the lever for me, and I'll lift it up. You have to lift it up. That's just like about an inch.
So there
It's
is a
not-
lip. All right,
yeah,
so
not 3
you lift
inches,
it up,
though.
and
It's
then he
about an
gets it
inch.
on the
It's a thick
flatbed, and do you drive to the place he's bringing it down to watch and supervise his removal of it?
No, I had asked him that. I said I had somewhere to go. I says, do you need somebody to go? Do you need me to go with you to unload it? He goes, no problem. I'll just unload it off the flatbed, and I'll have someone just bring it inside.
Okay.
Okay, so I says, call me to let me know because now the wheel is bent. Then he takes, instead of...
Did you take pictures of the bent wheel?
Oh, yeah.
No, I don't mean like at that moment because you were so mad because the wheel was bent.
No, I did not.
Okay, go on.
I did not because I'm starting work on Monday and this is Saturday, so I need to get this thing down to my job, my new job that I'm starting.
Okay.
So, so he gets the box up on the flatbed, and instead of tying it down left to right, side to side, he ties it down front to back. So now then he puts this big tie strap, like those big straps that you ratchet, and the whole top of the box is bending, and I'm watching the wheels just start to bend. Instead of making it go front to back, side to side, and strapping it down on the strong points of the box, he straps it down on the weak points of the box.
Okay.
So he gets the other box
What
up.
did you have to do that was so important that you don't want to watch this clown unloaded on the other side? Because from what you're describing, he could be nothing short of a clown. So if that's true and all this terrible stuff is happening, does your telephone take video and pictures?
Yes.
Okay. Why wouldn't you take video and pictures of it? And why wouldn't you be saying, you know what, I'm going to cancel? What was it you had to do?
I had to get my tools back.
No, where was it you had to be?
Oh, I had to be at my grandson's football game.
Okay. All right. So
he's 5. His first
he's
football
5.
game.
His
He's
first
5.
football game.
Yeah.
Pee-wee football. That's what you were doing.
Yeah,
Pee-wee football.
yeah,
All right. So you get to so what do you hear happens? You start calling him to make sure everything's okay, and what happens?
Before I left, I told him, I said, Kevin, I said, just let me know how you made out. Okay, meaning that I wanted to make sure that the box got there in one piece. So I get back into the car, I left my phone in the car with my wife, and I got 2 phone calls from him that I missed. So my wife texted him back, and nothing, 2 times. So then I texted him back, I says, why are you ignoring me? I said to him. I said, I just want to know how you made out with my toolbox. You know what I mean, like, did it get there in one piece or what? So he says it got there. That's what he said, and that was it.
Did he say anything went wrong?
No.
Okay, but then you go on Monday morning
Exactly.
to work,
Right.
and what do you find?
As soon as I got at work, okay, some guy comes up to me, and he was like right there, this guy, Steve, and he goes, dude, the guy that dropped your tools off, the whole box fell off the truck. And I'm like, whoa. So then I walked to my toolbox and everything, and I'm seeing it's like twisted and bent and whatever. I'm saying like, wow, you can see the pictures. And he's mad at me now. He's mad at me,
Is
this
this
guy.
a football player?
It's 2,000 pounds.
Hold on, sir. Nobody asked you a question.
What's
Is that the
that?
football player?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
That's the joy of my life.
Right. Repeat that last part.
He's the joy of my life.
No, I'm sorry. I didn't mean that. This This is fresh damage.
Whether it's fresh or not, I didn't do it. He's just claiming I did it.
Yeah, he is. He's claiming you did it,
Yeah,
but
that's it,
apparently he's not
basically.
the only one claiming you did it.
Yeah, who else?
Okay, so the guy did not see the damage occur. Is he out of luck?
He is.
Why?
I just think it's unfortunate that he was in that circumstance and the dude didn't trust him.
Well, so how do you protect yourself?
I would take pictures with my phone.
When?
Before.
Yeah, that is the point going inside the courtroom.
You said that one of the other employees said...
He told me that the box fell over on its side and he had to help him pick the box back up.
Did that happen?
And that's like 2,000 pounds of tools.
Well, then tell me how it is that all the damages that I'm looking at here happened. It's not a new unit.
This unit was box.
This unit was passed on to you by who?
No, it was. I bought it brand new. My grandfather bought it for me when I first started in the business.
So that was how old?
Yeah.
30 years ago, 20 years ago, 10 years ago, what?
25 years ago.
Okay. But this thing is, now the drawer won't close.
So here I'm at work on Monday, and I have to take everything out of the box because all the tools are upside down. They're all laying in the bottom of the lower box, okay? So I'm trying to open up the bottom box.
This is fresh damage right here.
So I'm trying to open up the bottom box. I can't open up the bottom drawers on the toolbox, so I had to drill out the
Okay, stop talking. This is fresh damage.
Whether it's fresh or not, I didn't do it. He's just claiming I did it.
Yeah, he is. He's claiming you did it,
Yeah,
but
that's it,
apparently he's not
basically.
the only one claiming you did it.
Yeah, who else?
According to you, nothing happened. It didn't fall over, nothing
The
happened.
only thing that fell was the top box because it's not connected. That's why I told the officer what he called me with the police report. Only the top box fell.
Show me the
because
police report.
It's not connected.
Did
so
you
he
go
never
to,
told me it was
did
not
they make
connected.
you come to the place or no?
No,
They just talked to you on the phone?
No, they just talked to me over
Show
the
me the
phone.
police report.
The bottom box didn't fall, just the top box.
Yeah, the bottom box did fall.
Yeah, just like the little small one that weighs 20 pounds.
I don't have the police report. I think
I have
it there.
Did you read the police report?
No, I don't have it.
Well, let me inform you what the police report says then. You immediately called the police when you got there on Monday morning.
Of course I did.
And the police officer says that he observed the entire toolbox to appear to be bent or twisted with a damaged wheel. It didn't sit level. So he went and investigated and spoke with several employees of the place that you took it to, his new job. He spoke with two of the employees who were working on the day of the incident, and both reported that they heard a crash. One reported he observed a bent wheel, and it appeared the strap was crushing one of the boxes prior to them being unloaded. The other one reported that he walked out to see what happened, and he observed the larger box on its back as the tow truck was in the lowered position to offload the boxes. Another employee also said that he was on location at time of this incident and that he observed the large toolbox on its back on the ground, and he helped you to lift the box up. So he doesn't even know these people. These are the new people he's going to start working with. They're all lying against you to the police?
No, listen, I didn't drop the box.
Well, it sounds like you did.
All right, so it sounds like it. I didn't drop the box.
Yeah, I think you
the
did.
The top box, I'm admitted to dropping the top box. Yes, the top box fell over. And then the strap was a little tight,
Yeah,
so.
I don't think you know what you're doing. And
okay.
I'm going to order you to repay. This stuff is super expensive. It's way more expensive than this, but you're capped at the statutory maximum. I'm ordering you to pay the man $3,000. Verdict for the plaintiff.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Well, the plaintiff provides enough evidence to convince the judge that Kerbin dropped the box.
Supposedly.
What do you think?
I didn't drop the box. It was there for 2 days. Something could have happened to it in 2 days. And they're just trying to cover themselves, basically just throwing me under the bus. But it's all right. I'm not taking pictures of everything I drop off from now on. That's it.
You know, that's a good idea.
Yeah, so I start doing after him. Every single thing I drop off, I take pictures.
That's a very smart idea.
That's it.
All right. $3,000 expense. You learned the hard way.
Yeah,
Thank you very much. Okay. Mr. Marshak?
Yes, sir.
How were the tools inside?
They were fine, the tools.
Yeah. So have you had to get a new box?
I am going to get a new box now, absolutely.
Now
I
that you
have
got the money.
to. I have to because I can't lock it.
Well, you convinced the judge, so congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank
Sorry
you very
about your
much.
loss. All right.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Okay. Harvey?
Okay, Dub, two things. One, take photos before the move, and secondly, make the mover sign off that it's in perfect condition or note where the damage is.